All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. Now, y'all know the other day I talked about creators who were being approached in person by these private investigators. I received a message asking if they had approached me. They still haven't yet. But like I said before, um, I'll be well prepared, if you know what I mean. We got cameras everywhere. And I told y'all I do live with LAPD, so just saying. Because I don't know if these are legit people or what, but I always have trouble pronouncing her last name. But Amala here has a video that says, "We found the private investigators who asked me about Diddy." Um, Again, man, she said before that, and there was another video too, how they were talking about, is anybody paying you to say what you're saying about Diddy? And uh, we, will be willing to pay you more to go the other way. So we're going to check this video out. I'll leave the link to her channel so you guys can check out more. Because like I said before, man, this is crazy. People start coming to your door. Yeah, so we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Back to the Diddy story, okay, y'all? I came on this show, I spoke to y'all, and I said some private investigators came to a place that I used to live, two men, and we actually found out who these two men are, or at least we know what they look like now. And they knocked on the door, they started talking to my best friend and said, we heard Amala lives here. They came really under false pretenses, trying to have a conversation with her about whether or not I'm paid to talk about the different topics that I talk about on this show.
I don't know if she's gonna cover it here, but I also was wondering, like, did they have some type of badge? Maybe she's gonna cover it. I was just thinking about that too, like, where's the proof that you guys are who you say you are, But like I said, she said we found them, so maybe she's gonna name drop.
We heard Amala lives here. They came really under false pretenses, trying to have a conversation with her about whether or not I'm paid to talk about the different topics that I talk about on this show. And once I got on the phone, interrogated them a little bit, they ended up letting me know they were private investigators to an unnamed client who they would not disclose, who were trying to figure out if influencers were paid to talk about P. Diddy and his connection to certain celebrities. So immediately my mind is thinking some sort of celebrity has hired this group of people to sort of travel around and maybe get some dirt on whether or not these people have been paid to talk about them and to share particular bits of information about them, although we do not have that confirmed. Now, these two guys ended up leaving after finding out that I was not paid by anybody and continue to not be paid by anybody to talk.
And another thing too, like me, like, I'll be reacting to the news that's coming out, or like an article that comes out, or other people who may have people on their channel talking about. So it's just crazy. I just feel like it's desperate times, so they're just trying to figure out what they can do to. I don't know. But it's insane
about the things that I talk about, but not before they offered more money. They said, if you were paid, we'd pay to know who's paying you, and whatever they're paying you to share these stories about Diddy and his connection to other celebrities, will pay you more to share the opposite story. They let me know also that they had about 10 other influencers that they were planning on visiting, and we did find one of them just moments after we finished the show. We finished talking to you guys, actually. Samson popped up on my TikTok, and Taylor had sent me videos that you guys were sending to him. I was getting tagged and mentioned on TikTok, people saying, are these the same two guys? And here they are. These are confirmed the same two guys that came to my best friend's door where I used to live.
So you guys are private investigators who have come to my private home asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue. This is frightening. I think. Can you guys step away from my home?
Well, we're in a public street, so the answer is no. But I'm really not trying to give you a hard time.
Why are you here? What do you mean? You're showing up at my
We're
house.
very nice and respectful, and we will be. I just have two quick questions for you, and if you want to be interested in it, great. If not, I'll have a nice day. We're not.
What is this? This is odd.
So
You have to admit this is very
it
weird.
always is, and people always ask us the same questions. I'm happy to explain it to you.
What?
Very simply, we're just hired to speak to a few people that do, have a lot of followers, stuff like that, on different platforms.
What is this about the Diddy stuff I report on?
Somewhat, yes. Not necessarily doing stuff, but people are involved in just stuff like that. So basically, a very simple question is are you paid to influence?
Not necessarily Diddy stuff, but people are involved in something like that. This is literally what he sounded like on the phone. And how did I describe him to you guys? So many of you guys were like commenting and saying, I saw the TikTok of who the guys are. You described them perfectly. Did I not describe them perfectly? There's one guy just stumbling over all of his sentences, which is the big, bulky guy. And then the boss man who sort of steps in to sort of clear things up, but not exactly clear them up. Now, they claim their names are Robert James and Peter Deegan. Who knows whether or not that's true? I already reported them to the police. I happen to have some cop friends. We want to look into whether or not these individuals are actually registered as private investigators,
Right.
because at least in the state of California, you do have to be registered and licensed as a private investigator. And I think the same can be said for other states. There is a registry that exists somewhere. I don't know if it's a state-based registry or a nationwide registry, but we're trying to figure it out, because who is Robert James and Peter Deegan? They're probably not even their real names. Like Robert James. Okay. Robert James. My name is Jason Allen. Yeah, John Smith. It's just like, please. But they've also apparently visited other TikTokers. Here's another video of a TikToker that popped up. You guys have been like tagging me and everything. You have been my sleuths all over TikTok, finding these people who have had similar experiences. So here's this guy quickly talking about his experience.
So this morning, private investigators, in quotations, chose to show up on my doorstep that apparently are going around and contacting numerous influencers that talk about Diddy and then do deep dives on Diddy as well. Now, obviously, I didn't talk long, but I was curious who they were, what they wanted, and why they got my address. Best believe I had a special little something sitting in my hands that you could see from a pretty good distance if you know what.
If you know what he means. Okay. Yeah. And they asked him very similar questions. Were you paid? If so, who by? They offered him money. I saw another guy on TikTok. Another guy on TikTok.
So this is what's really strange, though. So if they're approaching people who, have a lot of followers and that are doing, deep dives on Diddy and, basically, whether it's reactions or giving information. So normally people who are doing that is going to have more than like 10 videos talking about Diddy, right? So let's just say they approached someone and that person did take the money, and then all of a sudden the content switched up. Like they're talking in a good light about Diddy. Like, you don't think people are going to find that strange? So it's like, what is the end goal here? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I found it extremely weird. Like, somebody content is just going to flip-flop and they're going to be like, oh, guess what? That stuff I said before about him, it's weird. Very weird. Very weird. So I just had to get that off my chest.
Who lived in Arizona, who was visited recently by two private investigators. Now, these were apparently different private investigators because his visit exists on the same timeline as the two private investigators being here in California to visit me and the other influencers that I mentioned. What is going on? Who is hiring these people? Now, some are running with the narrative that these are people hired by Diddy or somebody within Diddy's network, and they're doing it at his request to figure out why influencers are talking about these stories. First of all, I don't even know if these guys are private investigators. I don't know what they were doing. There could have been so many different things going on. They could have been there to just scope out and see where these individuals live. And they had one guy sort of confusingly talking to whoever answers the door so that the other guy can scope out the area and see what's going on. I don't know. I mean, my best running theory is that some celebrity that all of us as influencers have spoken about in relation to Diddy, sort of tangential to Diddy, is maybe sweating about the fact that people are making this connection. And maybe somebody else has bad blood with this celebrity and they think that somebody is funding celebrities talking about them and connecting them with P. Diddy. Because I would only imagine that if you are in any way, shape, or form connected to this man, and people are starting to talk about it, or there are whispers, or you're seeing a video pop up here and a video pop up there, you're going to start getting pretty paranoid that you are next on the chopping block and that somehow people have figured this out about you. And knowing the sort of network that they had with other celebrities, how they would target other celebrities, the rumors about Diddy and Tupac and Kid Cudi and all the different wars that they were feuding out with one another. Maybe they really are paranoid that somebody has it out for them and is paying influencers to build this connection and bring them down. I don't know, guys. I'm just making shit up at this point.
All right. Hey, when Diddy wants to party, you got to tell him no. Like she said, they are sweating right now. My whole thing is like you can't expect these creators and these people on their platform to just switch it up. That's gonna look so weird, so obvious. They're gonna get called out. They're probably gonna lose. Like, I don't know what the magic number is for somebody to lie, but my goodness, man, it's crazy. Again, shout out to Amala for sharing. I had to watch and I make sure y'all share because we don't know if they're still out there trying to contact or approach these content creators, because like I said, it's desperate times for them. But appreciate y'all for watching, man. Peace out.